My name's Peter Rosenberg, and oh man, I got more real late staples in the building. First of all the way from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. It's not Bret the Hitman Hart. You know what I mean?
Close.
It's my man Nicholas Craven. Nick Craven, what's good, bro?
I'm good, bro. How you doing?
I mean, you're still the excellence of execution. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
And by the way, Brett's from Calgary. I apologize. It's Canada. And then also all the way. You don't hear me say this every day. From Delaware. Where exactly in Delaware, by the way, originally?
Dover, Delaware.
Dover, Delaware. Don't get it. He said that with some tone in his voice, some bass in his voice.
Like not the other one. Dover.
Hold on, bring your mic a little closer.
302.
Yeah, that 302. My man Jay Nice is in the building as well. How are you guys?
I'm good, brother.
Yo, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us, bro.
Thank you for having us.
And also, Jay, thank you for blessing the album.
Oh, absolutely, man.
That Mind Over Matter.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's the joint too.
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. A lot of people mess with that one.
Oh, man, it's humbling.
Talk close to the mic.
That's humbling, man. Thank you, man.
Like you had one of those verses that had a lot of quotables on it. Like a lot of people hit me up quoting your verse, which I thought was pretty cool.
Dope.
You know, I thought there were a couple of people. Obviously, there were a lot of names who were new to people who heard the project. But the two songs that probably got me the most like questions of who is that were Velda Wonder on the intro and you on the Mind Over Matter joint. I thought you bodied that. For people not familiar, Nicholas Craven, phenomenal producer. What would you say people could be? You've done a lot of ish now, especially over the last couple of years. Where would people be most familiar with your work, Nick?
As of recently, probably the Boldy Project, Fair Exchange No Robbery.
Talk about it.
My work with Makami, Rock Marciano, a lot of Fahim stuff. He's probably the person I've worked with the most and the longest too.
The God Fahim.
Yeah.
And how did that relationship begin?
I found Fahim when I was like going through all the Griselda stuff on SoundCloud in like 2014, 2015, and I heard the Black Pearl project he had with Camouflage Monk. Shout out to Monk, by the way.
Okay.
And
Down.
I heard that joint he had on there, Pray For Me, and I just had to hit him with some beats, and he heard the first pack, was like, oh, this is just dope, you know, like, good luck with all of this, you know? So I started really studying his style, and I made one specific beat, and I sent it to him, and 10 hours after sending the email, he sent back the song Nosferatu.
I was going to ask you what it was. It was Nosferatu. That's the one right there.
And that was like 2015. Probably, thank you, bro. And that's like probably my first track I did with like somebody from the States, really, like that I really admired and that I really like was like a fan of. So I talked to my guy, Thomas Belanger, and we flew down to Atlanta, shot a video for that, shot a video for Fire Lord Oze, and we shot a video also for a posse cut, two posse cuts that he's done too.
So when you're from Montreal, do you have anyone specifically coming up who you have in mind who you've seen do it from Montreal, or are you sort of carving out your own thing and using the benefits of modern technology to just find a way in? Yeah,
because there's some people that I would listen to from Montreal. Shout out to Connaisseur, shout out to Sans Pression, Roy Nuck, of course. But they, except for Roy Nuck, they weren't really like on the scene like internationally that much. So I didn't really have any like role models as far as that. I just kind of found a way through the internet, through, you know, SoundCloud and YouTube and Gmail. You know,
it's wild, bro.
Yeah,
it's such a different thing than the cats in the past. You know what I mean? Like, there are so many great people from all over Canada, from all the way from the West Coast to Toronto to Montreal, that were dope over all those years, and it was just a tougher play to ever cross over, which is sort of like why when it feels like Drake blew up, there was almost so much like, oh my God, he's Canadian. It was like as if Canada's far away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was sort of a bugged out thing.
And then the Toronto floodgates opened. Shout out to them. The Weekend, Party Next Door.
Yeah.
Know.
And I mean, listen, my Canadian hip hop roots go back to like, how old are you?
30.
I mean, you probably know them now, but like, you know, the Rascals.
Yeah, from BC, right?
Yeah, they're from BC.
Sure.
Mocha Only.
For sure, of course.
Is Mocha Only legendary status?
Swollen Members are pretty
members?
well enjoyed and recognized for sure.
Right. Swollen Members are big. Pause.
Yeah.
You mean, listen, they decided to name themselves Swollen Members. You know, they knew what they were getting into.
Shout out to them.
Swollen Members is crazy.
No, it's loose.
It's loose.
It's super loose. Cardi, of course.
Yeah.
What can tell me, because we're on One App. Cardinal Official is a friend of the show. What sort of like status does Cardi hold in Canada? I know he now does Canada's Got Talent.
He's behind the scenes doing a bunch of stuff. We got a homie that he works with too right now behind the scenes. Shout out to Zach Zoya. Where's my camera actually? Right here. All right, cool.
There you go. So when you have your shout outs, if you want to get your glamour shot, that's the one right there.
So they can clip it and do their thing with it.
Right. Do you want to? He said it. Well, here, say it a little bit more perfectly and look to the camera.
Shout out Zach Zoya.
Boom, we got a drop. It's that easy. And real quick, what's the most recent project that you've dropped on the people?
What's the most recent one? It's my project with Mike Shab, who's here with us tonight, Shadow Moses.
And that's a beat project?
It's he's rapping, I'm doing all the beats. He's a rapper producer from Montreal, and he's been going crazy for years. And recently, he was more into like a plug sound, drill, trap type of sound before, and he like blew up in France with that with his partner Jean Lou. Shout out to Jean Lou, long live Jean Lou, of course. And he started doing this new style recently, like when he started listening to like Griselda and stuff like that. And then we met up because he knew about the Fahim stuff. And right now, to me, he's like the best artist in Canada after Drake, basically.
Wow, this is high praise you're getting from Nicholas Craven.
I'm telling you.
All right. So you're going to send me I need to get some of your clean music. He's rapping in just English?
English.
Do you ever rap in French? Were you rapping in French before?
Never did it.
Never? That's so interesting. I mean, can you imagine? Listen, man. Let me say something, man. We don't need to feel bad because we don't speak any languages. Jay, I don't want to speak for you. Maybe are you fluent in French?
No, not at all.
I mean, like, listen, Americans are so repug. We know nothing. Like, I can't imagine. Now, you guys, as French Canadians, French was first for both of you, I presume, as it always is. And like, that's why one of the things I love about Montreal, I was just out there for WWE. We talked about it. It was fucking brutal when I was out there. It's brutal every time.
It was bad. It was bad.
Whenever I'm in Montreal, it's just brutal, but I love that place. And yeah, it's just so interesting culturally because the French and the French Canadian part of Montreal is so pervasive and like important in the culture, and you guys are like so proud of it. And man, the crowd in that building that night when Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, who are French Canadian, were out there was one of my favorite experiences I've gotten to ever witness in person. But yeah, as Americans, we can barely even put together English.
Yeah,
it's hard out here.
You guys make
pure ignorance.
But you guys make some fire shit, so we got to come through and recognize and come to the Mecca to do shows and shit.
Listen, I will gladly take credit for what kids in the Bronx in the early to mid 70s created. You know, at least my mild contributions by playing this music. America does do some good things. That's a fact. Even places like Delaware, Jay Nice.
In fact,
what the hell is? Tell people, please tell us right now, what the hell is going on in Dover, Delaware?
Well,
I mean that generally. And
what we're known for, we have a historic HBCU.
Facts. Del State, yeah, that's a thing.
Legendary homecomings. We've had everybody.
Facts.
We also we have an Air Force base.
That is true.
And so if anybody dies in combat or something in the military, they got to come to us. You know what I mean?
Beyond that, some beautiful beaches.
Some beautiful beaches, Lewis, Rehoboth Beach.
Hold on, you better show some love. You got the mother effing president of the United States.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Young Joey.
Young Joey.
Young Joey holding it down.
Shout out to Wilmington holding it down.
And still is back there. Used to take the train back like every weekend. You ever seen Joey B?
Nah, I have not seen Joey B.
Because he will pop up.
For sure.
Especially if you're in like Rehoboth at the beach. Or you're in Bethany or wherever it might be. Joey might roll up on you.
Yeah, he might be somewhere in the sand. You know what I mean? Like feeding seagulls or something.
And you know what? How about this? More. When I was a kid, our elementary school trip, we went to Cape Henlope in Delaware.
You got some ties in Delaware.
I had some ties. All right.
It's no more ties.
Not as ties. It's not as ties. It's a little. The ties are not the same. But I had a lot of memories in Delaware for sure. I had some pleasant days in Delaware.
Same.
Is there growing up in Dover? You're not there anymore. You moved out.
No, I'm in Atlanta now.
But your fam is there.
Yeah, fam is there. Yeah.
So like, was there a scene of any sort, or was it going to Philly? Like, how did that work?
Yeah, not really in my town. Like Wilmington, a little bit. Like we had a little bit of motion. Like DJ Brand, He's from Wilmington. He's Meek Mill's DJ now.
Okay.
But he used to be a DJ for a radio station we had, 101.7.
Okay.
Kiss FM. So
that was the urban station?
That was the urban station, yeah. So when it shut down, he moved on to that, and a couple of glimmers here and there, man, but not too much, man. Not too much. So yeah, culturally we had to go to Philly.
What do people call being from Delaware? Like, what's the slang editorial for from Delaware? You can't say the D.
Nah, not the D.
That's taken.
I used to call it, man, like particularly like where I'm from, I used to call it the belly of the East.
Ooh.
Because Delaware is kind of like in the belly of the East Coast, so
yep.
I kind of took that, and then even Dover, where I'm from, is kind of in the middle of Delaware. You got Wilmington up top, and then you got on the bottom, you got like Cape Henlope and like and like Felton and all that. So we're like right here in the middle in the capital. So that's what I used to call it. And they kind of like gained traction like in my city. They used to call it that. So.
And again, it's cool to kind of have you guys together. And by the way, congratulations, Nick, on the show this past weekend with God Fahim at SOBs.
Thank you, man.
Jay Nice, you came through and blessed.
Man. Oh my goodness, my brother.
It was a moment.
Smoked that. Oh, it was a moment, man. Just because like SOBs is what 400 something like that.
350.
Yeah. I mean, it was about 350 in there.
Yeah.
Like it was special, man. You know what I mean? It was just great to like finally, link up with Nick. This is our second time meeting. SOBs was the first time us meeting. You know what I mean? And just to share that space and just our fans coming together in New York, just really tapping into our market, man. It was something to witness, man. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Who in total showed up, Nick? How many people blessed that stage? Who was it?
We had Jimmy D from Montreal who came with me. Shout out to Jimmy.
Okay.
We did 4 joints. Then Shab came on. We did 6 joints. Fahim came on, and we started the like main set. And Fahim brought on
200, 200 verses.
Yeah, basically.
Dumping,
just like 1 minute, just like going. Mm-hmm. And then he brought out Nice to do what? 4 songs?
We did
3 songs.
Yeah, me and him did 2, and then Rush did 1. So like 4 songs in total.
And then right after that, Drew came out. Drew blessed the stage, did 3 joints, got out of there. Me and Fahim closed out the show, and that was it.
It's pretty cool, man. Congrats, man. I'm sorry I missed that. I had a family situation up here. I was trying to come through. That looked like that was a fire lineup, and I love seeing it, man. I mean, obviously we've had, Mark's had some great success with the supply and demand shows, but really cool to see you guys do that at SOBs. Now, Jay, you got a project on the way.
I do.
Talk about it.
And I came bearing gifts.
Oh, you did?
I came bearing gifts, man.
Oh, please.
You're my guy, dog.
I appreciate. Listen, I appreciate it. I love gifts.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, I do have a project coming. The title is Rise and Shine.
It's through Empire Records. It's executive produced by my man Chase Infinite. Oh, you brought me a stash of vinyl?
Yeah, I brought you a little stash, man.
Oh, fam.
Here, let me get the whole thing.
Yo, my guy.
Yeah, for sure, bro. Oh yeah, some cassettes. I loaded you up a little bit.
Yo, my guy.
Fire. The collection, you know what I mean? I see the
which yeah, you see what's that. This is just my girls. There's some joints here.
Yeah,
this isn't the cribbo. It's the office.
Right. Gotcha.
So okay, before I ask you about the stuff you just gave me, tell me about this project Rise and Shine that's dropping on the 19th.
Okay,
or that dropped on the 19th, I should say.
Yeah, it's dropping this Friday through Haroon Records /Empire. It's me and Doe Networks. It's our brainchild and the homie Chase Infinite. You know what I mean? He's executive producing it. You know what I mean? Powering it. And he's rapping on it as well.
Wait, you got Chase Infinite. By the way, Chase Infinite, former underground rapper. For people who know who are listening,
Self-Scientific, man.
Juan Epheads who know about Self-Scientific. Yes, that Chase Infinite,
yes.
But also
legend.
Also the manager for ASAP Rocky.
Absolutely.
He's been just an industry vet now. He's done a lot on the management side, label side, etc. You've got him out of the boardroom and onto the microphone?
I did, man. He wanted to do it himself too, man. He's like, hey man, I still rap. I'm like, all right, well, it would be an honor. You know what I mean? So yeah, we actually shot the video in front of his coffee shop, which is like a legendary coffee shop in Leimert Park, Haroon Coffee. If you're ever there, stop by and get some coffee.
Shout out Haroon Coffee.
But yeah,
that was an official shout out. Did you look at the camera again, Nick? Yeah, you know what you're doing. Get all your shout outs straight to that camera. You know what you're doing over there.
Yes, sir. But
How,
yeah.
well, how did that come to be? How'd the Chase Infinite thing come to be?
Man, I had been tuned in with him, man, just since the early days of ASAP, man. Me and God bless the dead ASAP Yams, we used to have a relationship before even ASAP popped off. We used to be on message boards and texting each other on AIM, like big pun verses and shit. He'd pop it off, you know what I mean? He'd just type just the beginning bars of just whatever from Capital Punishment, you know what I mean? So we had a real relationship, man. I'm really sad that we never got to really connect in real life, because I probably would have been a part of the mob, because that's just the type of dude he was, you know what I mean? And he liked the way I rapped back then too. So I was paying attention to Chase, just through just observing that movement. And I'm like, man, this dude, man, I like the name, and I just kept hearing his name. I kept hearing his name through the years. So I was having a conversation with Doe one day, because I was watching this Chase Infinite interview, and he happened to mention one of my other homies, Mock Hami, and I'm like, yo, he dialed in like that, you know what I mean? So I told Doe, I'm like, man, it would be ill if I could like connect with this dude, man, because obviously tapped into the underground, you know what I mean? And he made a call, and like the rest was history, man. He was down to do it. You know what I mean? He heard some music, and he was just like, man, yeah, let's put together a project. I'll push that button. You know what I mean? So, we're here now.
That's pretty dope, bro. And also, it makes it sort of like Yams almost, being involved from the beyond.
Bro, that's how it feels, man. I ain't gonna front, like, not to be spooky or nothing, but that's how it feels. It's like, yo, because like I always really felt like, yo, if I'd have just took a trip to New York, I was on my young bullshit back then. I wasn't like focused, you know what I mean? So I feel like if I would have been focused like I am now, we would have definitely linked in, because I know a couple of homies he put on, like ASAP Ant, shout out to ASAP Ant. He became a part of the mob by just being around, you know what I mean? Just kind of, so I know Yams was just tapped in like that, man. He was an exec on it, like a young exec, you know what I mean? We used to call him Yoda, you know what I mean? So I knew that probably would have ended up happening, you know what I mean? But it seems like, he's kind of guiding it from, like you said, from the beyond, you know what I mean? I know we would have been linked if he would have still been here.
So you've been at this for what, like 13 years? How long you been at this?
Man, like when I was dealing with him, I was rapping just like keeping my blade sharp, but I wasn't like actively like pursuing it, just like local yokel type of stuff, but I wasn't really like.
Who enjoyed the message boards and the blogs and all that?
Yeah, I used to text battle and all that shit, man. Like,
Talk to me about text battling, because
they used to have these message boards where you could really like, just like how battle rap is now. Like, you would kind of study, whoever wanted to get into the ring, and you name flip their names. Like, you don't know these people, you don't know what they look like. You know what I mean? So, and I used to actually I was most prevalent. In Smack, it was a Smack DVD magazine forum, and I became a champion on that. You know what I mean? So that's
like just nicing people up with the keyboard,
just hitting them with the just dangerous riz, man, just real dangerous riz. So yeah, actually been really trying to do it, like really professionally doing it for about like 4 years now.
Oh really? So it took a while. What were you doing? What were you doing to pay the bills in the meantime? Before I started
in
the years of you were just on the message boards and
I was running around, I was hustling and had a couple gigs, but I was just really unsatisfied, like, because like I said, we didn't have a scene where I was from, so, and I was super dialed into the internet, like I knew like most of the stuff that was going on culturally, like in hip hop, so I just knew where the hubs were, and I knew a kind of secret hub was Atlanta. You know what I mean? Like, everybody touches Atlanta, you know what I mean, when they are in their journey. You have to come there because, it's just a special melting pot of people that, like, if you get in the right circles, you can find your way. And that's what happened with me.
When did you go there?
I moved to Atlanta in 2017.
Okay.
And I want to say, maybe like a couple of months after that, I met Fahim at Lenox Mall.
Wow.
Yeah, like, no bullshit. Like, sorry, I don't know if we...
No, you're good.
So, I'm leaving Lenox Mall, you know what I mean? I'm going up the escalator. And he's coming down the escalator at the same time, like, on some this shit, I swear, like, just really. So I just was like, yo, Fahim, I was familiar with him. And I'm like, yo, Fahim. He like, what's up? I'm like, yo, it's nice. And he don't know me from a can of paint, but I'm like, yo, it's nice. He like, what's up? I'm like, I'm about to spin back around and, get with you. And
he didn't sprint to the exit.
Nah, he didn't go. Who is this guy?
Oh, God.
Fastly walk.
Yeah, a little quick walk out the door.
I knew it was on because he, when I turned back and went back down, he was just standing there like waiting. So, ever since then, well, matter of fact, a couple of weeks later, he called me. He had his own little producer room at Patchwork. I don't know if you ever been.
I remember.
They got like a little, he had his own little producer room. So he already was like, really focused. So and after that, we just built. Now, I mean, that's my brother. That's family for real. So.
So what can you tell us about this this new project, the Chase? What's the
man? It's loaded, man. It's loaded with features. I got the Outlaws on there.
Okay, can you tell me about this? This working with the Outlaws thing. I'm truly fascinated about this, as I just finished the Tupac doc.
Yeah,
and
I
I'm
ain't even
like,
started yet, man. I've been saving,
bruh.
I know it's crazy.
No, it's
I know it's 5 parts, right?
5 parts, and it keeps getting better and better and better. Yeah. And then, of course, the heartbreak is coming, but it still ends up breaking your heart regardless.
Yeah.
The Outlaws are in it sort of as a. They don't go into a super lot of detail about the Outlaws specifically. They just are part of the story. Him and the Outlaws and how many people he had with him. But yeah, how did that come to be
again?
And which members of the Outlaws are like active and still doing things?
Well, the ones I got on there, I got Young Noble and I got Idi Amin.
Oh, Idi Amin's all over the doc.
Yeah. So they're on it. And again, shout out to Doe Networks. He's tapped in with a lot of people. You know what I mean? So he was like, man, because I had the record with Fahim. It's actually y'all are here. It's actually on a Tupac sample, Keep Your Head Up. So you know how sometimes that could come off hokey. If you redo it,
it's risky.
Classic. It's very risky. I think mine's came out cool. The beat was cool. It wasn't too much, and I had Fahim on it. And Doe was like, man, I think it'd be dope if we can get the Outlaws on there, man. I'm like, if anybody could do it, man, it's you. So he made some calls, and I think Noble popped it off first. He shouted out me and Fahim, and then he went to his verse, and then Edie came shortly after that. And I got my brother Coogee Young singing on the hook. Shout out to him. And it came out great. So yeah, I got them. I got Fredro Starr on there. My brother Fredro Starr.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
This is.
It's the one right here. This is the one.
I'm interested in this. How's Fredro sounding in 2023?
Man, it's like he sounded in '94. Man, he's still hungry.
Word.
I just did a show with them in Atlanta. They came down to Atlanta with R.A. the Rugged Man. Shout out to R.A. the Rugged Man too. Man, he had us in King of Diamonds. You know what I mean? Shout out.
What's R.A. the Rugged Man like?
I don't really know because it was so loud in the strip club. So like,
he obviously he likes to party. Obviously,
yeah. How you like whisper something, you act like like yeah.
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. But he's a cool dude though, man. Really solid dude. He introduced me and Fahim to Akinelli.
Who runs the club, right?
The club, yeah. So it was fire.
If my girl was here and this is her place originally, she'd be very excited because Akinelli's from Queens. Even though we had a long discussion about where Akinelli's from exactly in Queens, because she claimed they were from the same area, and she thought he was from Fresh Meadows. He's not. Anyways, shouts to Akinelli, the god Akinelli. R.A. the Rugged Man and Onyx.
Yep.
That is a show that you can both enjoy hip hop and misstep and just get fucking smacked.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It could happen.
They was mashing in there.
Have you ever watched have you ever happened to stumble upon the interview of myself and Cipha and Onyx? And at one point, they just start screaming at me, and I was like, "Wait, I don't know what just happened. Are we going left here? Where are we going?" It was when they were on that press run. You remember they were on a press run where they almost smacked Charlemagne.
Yeah.
And then it's now listen.
So they were Aggie.
They were Aggie at the time, and now for the record, because I'm not. Well, I say this with all due respect, because I'm not a disrespectful prick. I didn't get that close to getting smacked, but I was just like, "Where's this conversation going?" I thought I just asked a question.
Yeah.
It was something about dancers. I was surprised about them dancing.
Oh yeah.
Something like that. You can see how.
I can see
all it takes is that conversation.
Bring that up.
I don't think I brought it up though. I think I just reacted a way that seems potentially smack worthy, and I get it. I have sort of a smacky face, so I understand it. Anyways, that's fire. So that project. People need to go check for that immediately. Now, Jay, if people the lowercase and uppercase of your name makes no difference. People search on their other Spotify,
yeah.
right?
You can just type it the regular way. That's just
Because
my style.
let me tell you one thing: when I was sending out the track listing for my album, I had to redo the whole shit after I realized I fucked up your lowercase uppercase.
Oh, well, it would have been fine.
It wouldn't have
appreciate
well,
the details.
no,
bro.
come on,
I
this is your
appreciate
name.
the details. Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Damn it, I respect your name. Jay Nice, Nicholas Craven. Yo, stream the music. There is so much great stuff from both of you guys. Very excited about what you guys both have coming. And man, I really appreciate the randomness of having Montreal and Dover, Delaware together on one track. You know what I mean? Only here. This is the only place where you get anything like this. I appreciate you both, man.
Hey, man, appreciate you, bro.
All right, you know the vibes. Thank you, guys.